I wasn't going to let my sex or hardships stop me.
She's as quintessential to Philadelphia as the iconic Rocky steps.
Everyone who loves Philadelphia film, I want a big yo!
And is essential to the economy as the Eagles. As the executive director of the Greater Philadelphia Film Office, Sharon Pinkenson has mastered the art of being a powerful woman in a man's world.
It's always more challenging being a woman in any field. You know, you work twice as hard and dance backwards in high heels.
Fascinated by films from a young age, Sharon successfully turned her passion into a legendary career.
I was always in love with the film industry. As a little girl, we used to, spend all day on the weekends going to matinees, and it's more than just watching a movie on a screen. It's the entire experience.
Thanks to Pinkenson's leadership and vision, southeastern Pennsylvania is now a hotbed for production. She's transformed the Greater Philadelphia Film Office from a little-known permit agency that only brought in $2.1 million before 1991 to a multi-county juggernaut for economic development that's generated a whopping $4 billion in revenue for the region since Pinkenson took office in 1992.
I think that I've been involved with more than 150 films, so that's a lot.
Lights, camera, action.
Sharon has rolled out the red carpet from Hollywood to Philadelphia and has helped usher in huge hits like the Rocky films, Silver Linings Playbook, Law-Abiding Citizen, 12 Monkeys, and a little movie about seeing dead people.
You know, I've been making movies here in Philly, obviously, since I was a kid.
Night Shyamalan came as a first-time filmmaker in 1992, and he told me he was going to be a star, and I believed him.
Having a sixth sense for cultivating homegrown talent has had a blockbuster impact on the community.
We nurture filmmakers, and we do that every single day. I don't care if it's $1 million movie or a $50 million movie or a TV series.
Sharon's fierce ambition can be traced back to an early age.
First job I ever had was in my grandfather's factory. He manufactured men's neckwear. So before I could sell my Girl Scout cookies to the ladies that were sewing in the factory, I had to turn like 12 dozen ties.
After graduating from Temple University, Sharon spent several years as a dental hygienist, but yearned for something else.
I always needed to be entrepreneurial. I decided to start a business with my best friend, so we opened a store called Plage Tahiti, and it was fabulously successful and very popular, and we got all kinds of great press.
Sharon's savvy business sense and creative talents paved the way for designing her own clothing line. But when the AIDS crisis hit the fashion industry hard in the 80s, she knew she needed a change.
All my friends in New York were getting sick, and it was a very scary and horrible and sad time. I lost my best girlfriend to AIDS, and I really wanted to get out.
As fate would have it, her foray into fashion would lead to a career in film.
A director was a customer in my store, and I didn't know he was a director. And I did my first commercial, and then he found out that I was doing styling for commercials, and next thing I knew, that was it. I was doing it full time. And I worked on movies when they came to town.
And it wasn't just Sharon's signature style that kept her on director's speed dial.
I was first call for styling because I was a fashion designer, so I could make any. If I couldn't buy it, I could make it.
Using that same can-do attitude, Sharon recognized that the whole Philadelphia region had tremendous potential.
The first film office in Philadelphia was established in 1985, but by 1988, the only person working there was a civil servant secretary. I said, this is ridiculous. Maybe if we had a working film commission with a director and a deputy director, and we could bring more films into the city.
So she hatched a plan for a regional film office and pitched her idea to then Mayor-elect Ed Rendell, who instantly saw promise in Sharon's idea.
He got all excited, and he's going like, I need a business plan on my desk on Monday. I was like, okay. It was scaring me half to death.
Not one to let fear stand in her way, Sharon got to work.
I had run a business, I knew how to write a business plan. And so I went home and I got on my daughter's Apple IIc computer, which is practically a typewriter. And I wrote a business plan.
Her business plan was a hit, but there was one small problem.
He said, I can't pay you, but you'll get $1 a year and your health care. So I said, okay. I said, I'll do it for 60 days, but I can't do it longer than that. My daughter's going to college in the fall. So he said, okay, I'll help you raise the money. And on the 64th day, we raised enough money to pay me retroactively, and we became a part of a regional nonprofit.
Sharon's visionary leadership revolutionized the local production industry. Her bold actions created steady work for the indigenous crew population and put the Philadelphia area on the map as a sought-after filming location.
I love to scout with the producers the first time around. It's my creative piece where I help them find locations that I know I'm shaping the way this movie's gonna look. I love that.
So in 1992, during Sharon's first year on the job, she got a call from the famous director Jonathan Demme, who was looking for a courtroom to shoot his new movie in. The same movie that would later become the groundbreaking Academy Award-winning film, Philadelphia. Sharon convinced Demme to come to town because she had the perfect location for him.
I picked them up at the train station. There was a whole bunch of them. You know, there was a costume designer and production designer and producers and Jonathan Demme. And of course I was like, my heart was pounding, and I pick them up and there's City Hall. And we go in there and they totally fell in love.
During the course of the shoot, the local girl who grew up mesmerized by movies created lifelong friendships with Hollywood A-listers Demme and Tom Hanks.
I mean, we knew that we were making something that was very important, and we were going to open the world's eyes to the AIDS crisis, and this was something that was very near and dear to my heart. It didn't have a title. I was constantly trying to think of a name for the movie, and then finally Jonathan said, Sharon, we've decided to name the movie Philadelphia. And I was like, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. I was like so overwhelmed, and what came out of my mouth was, I have to go call my mother. I think the Philadelphia incentive is an excellent idea.
Trusting her gut has also led this master marketer to create educational initiatives that support females and advocate for progress in the industry.
We're different than other film commissions. We do a lot with supporting women, gender issues, sexual abuse and inequality in the workspace.
By empowering and helping to employ production people, Sharon has definitely garnered a loyal fan club.
The people who work in Philadelphia in film and in television are my family. I go to set and they say, thank you. Kids are going to school, we have health insurance. That's what really gets you. That's the good stuff.
After over 25 years at the helm, with no sign of slowing down, it's safe to say that this power player still has stars in her eyes and the world at her feet.
My favorite thing in the whole world is when I get that call that says, we're coming. Oh my God, I mean, it's like, you know, I'd open a bottle of champagne every single time if I could.
We'll cheer to that. Do you know a trailblazer? Let us know at nominations@modernhero.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Modern Hero YouTube channel.